tonight at 6 after Thursday's storm scare marking the most tornado warnings in our system in over a decade. TV2 gets reactions from campus.
Which RuPaul's Drag Race queen had a stunning visit to Kent State? We've got the All-Star Performance Recap.
And Pfizer announced their COVID-19 vaccine is 91% effective in adolescents. We have more on the research.
Do you want to dance with somebody? We've got all the details for an evening with Whitney Houston.
This is TV2 News.
Good evening, Portage County. Thank you for choosing us to deliver Friday's top headlines. I'm Chris Abreu.
And I'm Olivia Sharp.
Now we start off today with some dangerous weather in Ohio.
That's right. Tornadoes touched down all across the state. Some reached right here in Portage County. Our reporter Kelsey Drennen joins us with more. Hi, Kelsey.
Thanks, guys. Around 5:15 p.m., Kent State received a tornado warning, having students looking for shelter. I talked with the fire chief in Jackson Township, who mentioned that this wasn't the first time this has happened before, and that they had a long night dealing with the aftermath of the storm.
We all work hand in hand. It's been a very exhausting 24 hours, so to speak. So we had multiple events happening. We actually received 27 calls in a short period of time, and we sent crews to all those areas.
The fire chief related this tornado back to the one that happened in 2002. He mentioned that this tornado took the same route that the past tornado did, but this one was less destructive. While with the past one, they had to worry about multiple homes being destroyed. This year, they only had to worry about the power lines and trees, which, luckily, they had many people willing to help.
Back in 2002, we had so much debris and we had so much, the area was so, every third home was destroyed. So we needed a lot of outside fire department assistance. We needed, we actually had National Guard in here, and we had debris removal folks here, and we did not need that this time.
This tornado was a surprise to some students, but it seems like Kent State is recovering, and it did not hit the main campus. Reporting in the Franklin Hall studio, I'm Kelsey Drennen. Back to you two at the desk.
Now, meteorologists conducted an investigation to see how many tornadoes actually touched down.
They reported this evening that a total of 7 tornadoes hit the ground in Ohio, one of them right in Streetsboro.
Hello, all of Portage County in Northeast Ohio. I'm TV2 weather anchor Odin Amador-Gorby with your Friday evening weather forecast. And let's start off with those tornadoes that we talked about yesterday. It was a really bad day for Ohio. You know, we had one tornado. Here's one near North Canton. You can literally see this tornado like right there. It's a little hard to see because it's a little rain wrap, but you could kind of see the silhouette right there. A little bit of debris right there getting picked up. That was near Jackson High School in Jackson Township. Let's take a look at another one. I think this one was also in Stark County as well. I'm not for sure if it was the same one or if this may have been another twister, but yeah, you could clearly see that. A lot of rain with this. It was a very high moisture type of supercell thunderstorm that blew through. But thankfully, we won't have to deal with that. I will also add most of these tornadoes so far have been EF0s to EF1s, possibly EF2. The National Weather Service is still going to be surveying those areas. But currently in Kent right now, 52 degrees, feels like 51 out there. It's definitely a lot calmer than yesterday when it comes to weather. But anyway, if you notice, the temperatures are starting to get a little bit cooler because of yesterday's severe weather, bringing in a pretty big cold front. 62 in Akron, 63 Steubenville, 60 Lima, 70 in Cincinnati. And your hour by hour for this evening will definitely be a lot calmer tonight. 48 cloudy skies, midnight 43, 7 a.m. 43, all cloudy skies tonight. That's all I have for now. In our next update, I'll be talking about return to normal fall weather. Back to you guys at the news desk.
Thank you, Odin. The Kent State Board of Trustees announced the completion of their funding for their new College of Business building. This comes after Ambassador Edward F. Crawford gave Kent State University its biggest gift in history. In honor of his generosity, the building will be named Crawford Hall. The Crawford Hall building project is a part of Kent's Forever Brighter campaign, which needs $350 million of funding. And the Portage County NAACP is hosting a Freedom Fundraiser Saturday for its Scholarship Fund. The event is being held both virtually and in person at the Kent State University Museum from 3 to 5. Keynote speaker Dr. Tamika Ellington will recount the events that led to the development of the textures exhibit on campus. You must register in advance. Only a $25 donation is requested whether you're attending in person or virtual. A drag show this week that had many people attend took place Wednesday at Kent State.
This big event had many people saying amazing things, which our own Raygene English will talk about. Hi, Raygene.
Hi, Olivia. The drag show event for Kent's Sex Week was an absolute live hit, filled with so much energy from the entertainers to the audience. The drag show was headlined by RuPaul Drag Race alum Monique Hart. There was a full crowd that wrapped around the Student Center inside before the show started. There was numerous performances from 6 drag queens, including Monique Hart herself. Hart even had also served looks and wisdom all night during the event in regards to Kent's Sex Week.
Safe sex is the best sex, okay? We have no time for you to be getting pregnant when you're supposed to be getting education, okay? We have no time for you to be having the drip or the bum. No.
The event had interactive contests for the audience members to participate in and enjoy. When I talked with people who attended the show, they thought it was a really good that Kent State had the show a part of Sex Week because of the message of inclusivity. The show was organized by the Kent Interhall Council, who organized the entire themed week for all students to enjoy. That's all I have for you tonight. I'm Raygene English for TV2 News. Now back to the desk with Olivia.
Thank you so much, Raygene. Kent is poised with taking over dispatch services for Brimfield Fire. The city of Kent entered a 1-year contract with Brimfield Township to handle fire, ambulance, and dispatch duties. Under this new role, any fire-related injuries would be transferred to Kent City, while Brimfield will still handle police 911 calls. The change will not require Kent to increase its staffing level. However, during times of high call volume, an extra dispatcher on duty may be needed. Ohio printed over 35,000 of their newly designed license plates before realizing a mistake. The mistake was noticed through social media, where the plates displayed an inaccurate image of the Wright brothers plane facing the wrong way. The Ohio flag banner was shown pushing the plane rather than being pulled by it. Ohio officials say they'll recycle the misprinted license plates, but have not said whether it will cost the state additional fees. New plates will be available to drivers starting on December 29th.
And Chair of the Ohio Republican Party, Jane Timken, returned donations from an organization formerly in the casino business that was accused of sexual misconduct, money that she is now accepting in her bid for the U.S. Senate. Steve Wynn and his wife, Andrea, each donated $5,800 to Timken's campaign in June. People who work for Wynn reported he pressured employees to perform sexual acts and settled a rape case involving one worker for $7.5 million.
For 2 people to be injured in this way, it draws a lot of conclusions, I think, before we've gotten all the facts, but yeah, it's a tragedy.
Tragedy on the Hollywood film set for the movie Rust. We have more on the shocking incident.
And the FDA is recalling a household food item after being linked to Salmonella. The details coming up.
Today I'm going to talk to you about physics. Come on in, girls. Let's go. This is the first rocket to get humans to Mars.
Really tall.
I'm a rocket structural engineer, designing and building parts of the rocket. You are the generation that will be stepping foot on Mars. Do I have a group of astronauts on my hands?
Yes.
You can become a rocket scientist or whatever else you want to be.
Julie was always a voracious reader. She'd carry 2 novels on an airplane because she'd read one on a 3-4 hour ride. And at some point, I began to notice that she would read a page and couldn't remember what she had just read, and she'd have to go back and read it again.
I don't remember much these days after I read, but less does for me, and I love it.
If I could go back and change it all, I wouldn't. I think I'm gonna miss you the most. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Maybe it's just the little moments. If I could go back and change it all, if I could go back, I would. But I can't.
Unfortunately, what happened was a tragedy. In the film business, we take extreme caution with any kind of weapons, whether they be rubber prop guns, blank guns, and anything in between.
Hollywood rocked by a tragedy. A crew member died and another was injured after Alec Baldwin discharged a prop firearm on a film set in New Mexico Thursday.
The director of photography for the film Rust, Helena Hutchins, was killed by the prop while filming a scene. According to law enforcement, both Hutchins and director Joel Salza were hit. The Santa Fe Sheriff's Department says the investigation remains open and active, and no charges have been filed. The film set has closed for now.
And in an update, Baldwin tweeted on Friday and expressed his extreme remorse regarding the incident and stated that he was reaching out to the crew member's family and offering his support.
New health information was released involving Pfizer's children COVID-19 shots and a recall of onions with possible Salmonella contamination. My name is Anthony Furiga. A recall was issued for onions as they are believed to be linked to the growing Salmonella outbreak. The FDA says infected onions include jumbo, colossal, medium, and sweet onions. Onions were last imported on August 27th, but they can last up to 3 months in homes and businesses. The outbreak has affected over 652 people, including 14 people right here in Ohio. Cases are expected to grow as more illnesses are reported. A new study was recently published that shows a correlation with COVID-19 patients and brain fog. The study reported that almost a quarter of patients that were hospitalized with COVID-19 experienced issues with their memory. Hospitalized patients are more likely to experience impairments in attention, executive functioning, category fluency, and memory. The study noted that there needs to be more research on long-term treatment as well as rehabilitation for such patients. Pfizer announced Friday that their kid-dose COVID-19 vaccines are 91% effective in children ages 5 to 11. However, the FDA needs to approve the vaccine before children may receive it. If approved, the CDC would make the final decision on what age groups would be eligible to receive the shot. COVID-19 vaccines for children could begin as early as November if regulators decide to move forward. FDA meetings have been set to discuss a timeline for children vaccines. Britt Conway has a look at those timelines.
We've had hundreds of children who have lost their lives, thousands who have been hospitalized. Many have not been in school consistently. They've been quarantined. They've missed out on social engagements and get-togethers. Youth sports have been disrupted. When you look at the toll, the price tag, if you will, of COVID on our children, it is quite significant. So we want them to get their lives back.
And health experts say that means getting them vaccinated against COVID-19. A vaccine for kids 5 to 11 is in the works. Moderna, Johnson & Johnson, and Pfizer have all been collecting data on their vaccines for that age group. But only Pfizer has submitted a request for emergency use authorization. It would be 2 doses given 21 days apart, and each dose would be a third of a normal dose. On October 26th, the FDA's vaccine advisors are scheduled to vote on whether to recommend authorization. If that happens, there's a meeting with the CDC's vaccine advisors set for November 2nd and 3rd, and a thumbs up from them would send it to the CDC director to make a recommendation, which could happen as soon as the 3rd. And then kids ages 5 to 11 can start getting those vaccinations not long after that. The White House has already announced some of its rollout plans.
Child care centers make it available there, as well as your pediatricians in churches.
Parents across the country have been waiting for a vaccine for a long time and are eager that this moment may be close.
I'm Britt Conway reporting.
And continuing with the virus, COVID-19 cases continue to pop up in Ohio. Today, the Ohio Department of Health reported over 4,000 confirmed cases. This comes with 239 more hospitalizations and 339 deaths in the past 3 days. Ohio has seen an average of just over 4,500 cases in the past 21 days.
Hello everyone. Today is definitely a lot calmer than it was yesterday for sure. But as we look across our area, our local temperatures are a lot cooler than yesterday. 60 in Kent, 59 in Cleveland, 62 in Sandusky, Youngstown at 60. It is definitely a lot cooler because of those storms yesterday, because a big cold front came through and bringing more autumn-like temperatures. As we look across our radar, definitely a lot better today. No rain showers up here at all. We got some harmless rain showers towards southern Ohio, but for the most part, we are pretty clear, just cloudy skies. And as we look at your 7-day outlook, you can clearly see Saturday will be pretty nice and sunny. A bit of clouds though, but then towards Sunday we will have a bit of showers, more like autumn-like patterns going to start to sweep on through our area and through Tuesday. And then even towards Wednesday through Friday, we will continue just experiencing more of those just rain showers on and off here and there. It's definitely going to be a lot more of a fall-like pattern. That's about wraps up my forecast. Please be safe out there while cleaning up from the tornadoes and storms yesterday. Have a safe weekend, everyone.
Thanks, Odin. Yesterday brought a harrowing conclusion to the Gabby Petito disappearance. Let's take a look at the timeline of events. So, we start on July 2nd, where Gabby and Brian leave from Blue Point, New York for their cross-country road trip to celebrate their engagement. The next update is on August 27th, where Gabby and Laundry are seen leaving a restaurant, and Petito is in tears and Laundry is visibly angry. Later in the week, Laundry is picked up on August 29th, hitchhiking in Wyoming. August 30th, Gabby Petito's mother receives her last text message from Gabby, which reads, "No service in Yosemite." On September 1st, Laundry returns from his cross-country road trip, noticeably without his fiancée Petito. September 11th, Gabby is reported missing by her family and Laundry invokes his Fifth Amendment. September 17th, Laundry is reported missing by his parents after he does not return. On September 19th, a body is found in Wyoming near Grand Teton National Park. Later in the week, that body was confirmed to be that of Gabby Petito, and the manner of death is ruled as a homicide. On September 23rd, a warrant is issued for Laundry's arrest for using Petito's credit cards posthumously. On October 20th, human remains are found in the preserve where Laundry was, as well as some of his belongings were found, a backpack and a notebook. And on October 21st, dental records confirmed that the remains are, in fact, Laundry's.
And the Supreme Court will allow the Texas law that bans most abortions to remain in place, but has agreed to hear arguments in the case come early November. The justices Friday said they'll decide whether or not the Justice Department and abortion providers can sue over the law in federal court. Answering that question will help determine whether the law should be blocked while legal challenges continue. The court is moving at an unusually fast pace, with arguments set for November 1st.
3 Kent State sports will be in action this weekend. I'll break down everything you need to know around Kent State athletics coming up.
And a new Nintendo game is creating an open-minded environment for its players. Stick with us to find out what the game is.
The black truck? Hey, Christina from accounting.
Yeah, hi.
Hey, I used to date a girl named Christina.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then she dumped me for my best friend. You want to see some photos of them that I took?
I don't.
I thought we talked about this, buddy.
Buzzed and overshared again?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna call a car.
That's a smart idea.
So yeah, I know, that's why I did it.
Hey, you're gonna get back to the top of the mountain.
Does that mean I'm gonna get back with Christina?
No.
Oh.
No.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma. I have a mentor, and she convinced me to continue my education. No one receives a diploma alone. If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, go get it. You can do it.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Come on! Go, Diane! Yeah, keep it going! Yeah! Go, honey!
If you love them enough to drive an hour to cheer them on as they get beat 11-0 in the rain, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the-right seat to make sure they're correctly buckled in the back seat.
Throw that ball, Diane. Woo! You got this.
And now, your TV2 Sports Report.
Welcome back to TV2 News. I'm Jack Berney with your sports report. We've got a lot to get to, both with Kent State football and some Browns football, but we start with some football as we check in with the Kent State soccer team. The Kent State soccer team played their final regular season home game against Central Michigan last night, and they came away with a 1-1 tie. The tie moved the Flashes' record to 6-1-2 in the Mid-American Conference, good for second place in the MAC with just 2 regular season games remaining. Tiana Harris had the Flashes' lone goal last night, finding the back of the net in the 60th minute. Next up for Kent State is a pair of road matches with Eastern Michigan and top-seeded Ohio next week. And the Kent State volleyball team returns to the MAC Center this weekend to take on Buffalo tonight and tomorrow. Tonight's match is the Dig for the Cure match for the Flashes. The team will wear pink jerseys in support of breast cancer awareness. Senior Aaron Gardner is looking to build off her strong play as of late after tallying a season-best 32 digs on Wednesday against Ohio. Tonight's match is underway and tomorrow's match begins at 4 p.m. You can watch both matches on ESPN3 with TV2's very own Ben McMillan calling the action. And from the hardwood to the gridiron as the Kent State football team travels to Athens tomorrow for a MAC East showdown with the Ohio Bobcats. The last time these two teams met was the 2019 season when Ohio won a 45-38 thriller. Tomorrow will be an important one in the MAC East standings. With a win, Kent State would move to 3-1 in the conference and remain in first place. Quarterback Dustin Crum is a player to watch tomorrow. He threw for 4 touchdowns against Ohio in 2019 and so far in MAC play has thrown for 5 touchdowns and 0 interceptions. Kickoff is set for 1:05 p.m. and TV2 Sports will be making the trip to Athens tomorrow, so be sure to follow us on Twitter at TV2KSU Sports for updates. And the Browns hosted the Broncos last night for Thursday Night Football. The Browns are missing a lot of key players but needed a win to stay in the playoff hunt. Let's get right to the highlights. Case Keenum making the start for Baker Mayfield, getting ready on the sidelines. First drive of the game, Dearness Johnson cuts it back and takes it into the end zone for the touchdown. The Browns take an early 7-0 lead in the first quarter. Dearness Johnson is fired up. That was his first career NFL touchdown. Later in the game in the third quarter, Teddy Bridgewater drops back and finds Melvin Gordon, who dives across the pylon for the touchdown. The great effort by Melvin Gordon makes it 10-7 Browns. But the Browns were not done there. Case Keenum with the fake, and he's going to roll left and find Johnny Stanton for the fullback touchdown. The Browns increased their lead to 17-7 after that play. Later in the fourth quarter, Teddy Bridgewater is going to throw a screen pass here to his running back, Javonte Williams, and he is going to take it all the way in for the score. The Broncos cut the lead to 17-14 on that one. But in the end, the Browns had too much, and so did Dearness Johnson. He is going to get the game-clinching first down here, and the Browns are going to hang on for a 17-14 win. What a night for Johnson, who had 146 yards and a touchdown in his first career start, and the Browns, who moved to 4-3 on the season with that win. And that is all I have for sports. For updates on tomorrow's game, follow at TV2KSU Sports on Twitter, and be sure to watch Sports Corner Monday night at 8, only on KentWire.com. I've been Jack Berney. Have a great night.
Thank you so much, Jack. Whitney Houston's Hologram Tour is set to make its debut in America on Tuesday. Find out where that will take place when we return.
We might root for different teams, but we all respect the game. And we can all root for each other when we wear a mask. Mask up, America.
After you joined our family, it was like, I really do feel complete now.
A new video game called Rainbow Billy is centered around nonviolent and empathy-driven gameplay. Rick Damagella has more.
This is not your ordinary video game.
Rainbow Billy, the Curse of the Leviathan is an adventure game where you explore these islands that have been robbed of their color by the Great Leviathan. You play the character of Billy, who embarks on a journey with friends to be able to recolor these islands and bring back peace and harmony to the world. It was a video game that we wanted to make that highlighted inclusivity, diversity, positivity, and to make everyone feel good during these dark times. We designed a non-violent game that takes a lot of the tropes that you could see in a lot of the popular games, but puts them on their head in a non-violent way. And we wanted the game to be just a wholesome experience that can be enjoyed by all.
Rainbow Billy could arguably be considered among the first empathy-focused video games.
We wanted the game to highlight the importance of being able to listen and communicate and see the two sides to every story. In the end, like, I think society today has never been more polarized, and you know, if we all just every once in a while took the time to kind of just listen and maybe just take the time to put ourselves in someone else's shoes, we'd probably be in a better place.
Leveling up in Hollywood, I'm Rick Damigella.
Whitney Houston fans, listen up. The Whitney Houston Hologram concert is coming to the Las Vegas Strip this Tuesday. The show is called An Evening with Whitney and showcases Houston's original voice, as well as bands with live singers and dancers. To top things off, never before released vocal tracks from Whitney will be played during the debut.
Now, I am convinced that I Want to Dance with Somebody might be the best song ever made.
I absolutely think it is. It's phenomenal. It's a perfect party song.
There's no one I've ever met who dislikes it.
Oh, absolutely not. If
Yes.
you ever meet someone who doesn't like I Want to Dance with Somebody, that tells you something.
It's a red flag for sure. The video game itself, I have been really busy with video games. I've been playing video games a lot recently. It's a very interesting concept. I've never seen anything like that.
It is. I really love it because, you know, we all hear about the video games that have so much violence, but to listen to that, the description of a game filled with empathy and joy, I'm really excited. I think I'm definitely going to play it when it comes out.
Yeah, I'll try to get it myself. I'm not quite sure where to get it though, but I'll try. That will just about do it for this Friday evening edition of TV2 News. When we're off air, make sure to find us online at KentWired.com or at KentWired on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
But don't turn the channel just yet. You want to stick around at 9 for a brand new episode of The Agenda. Once again, thank you for making us a part of your day. I'm Olivia Sharp.
And I'm Chris Abreu. Have a happy and safe weekend.
Hamilton was adopted from a rescue in 2008. He's quite the pug about town. He gets invited to a lot of parties. He knows he's a pretty big deal. How could you not love him?
I feel like her heartbeat is like same speed as mine. And I think we have this like deep connection, this heart connection. In her heart that there's room for me and Mom. When I'm holding her, it makes me feel calmer. It's a sensory thing. It's a thing with Asperger's.
She's really good with Anya. I've seen adults react to my daughter when she has meltdowns like she's from a different planet, and this little animal just sat next to my child and was just like, you know, It's gonna be cool. She's my superhero.
Good job, kitty cat.
When we adopted Lucky, we discovered all the wonderful things that make her unique.
Lucky's a little bit of a lot of things, but mostly she's pure love.